What's up, guys? It's great to see you. I am officially back as of this video. I wanted to basically just discuss today where I've been, what I've been up to, and all the things like that. So I've taken quite a long break from YouTube and content creation as a whole. I still was blogging behind the scenes, but I wasn't really making videos. For the most part, I have pretty much just stopped doing work altogether and just focused entirely on family life. 8 months ago, I had a son, and he is just absolutely my world. Most men in the UK only get like a week to actually spend time with their child before they have to go back to work. Whereas I'm kind of in a fortunate situation of, well, I can work whenever I want from home. So I just basically dived in completely into being the best dad I possibly could and being there for him and just soaking up every minute, every second I could of just being a dad. It's always something I've really wanted to do, is be a good dad. And having been raised in a family where my parents weren't really present, didn't spend any time with me, I really wanted to do that. That was like important to me, is be there for my son and make sure I'm a good. So that's what I've been really focusing on. When my son was born, I started to get feelings in my heart. And it was like someone was literally getting a dagger and shoving it in, just where my heart was. I'm not pointing to my heart right now, I'm actually pointing to my other side. My heart's here. But I was kidding. Someone was getting like a dagger and shoving it into my heart. And that's like the feeling I was getting over and over and over again. And it was almost every time someone asked me a question, every time I was out and about, every time I was around my father or middle brother, I just got loads of like feeling. And I had to go to the doctors because I genuinely thought I was having like a heart attack or something. So I went to the doctors and they basically said, you should speak to our mental health doctor. I spoke to a mental health doctor and he basically said, he asked me a bunch of questions. Do you get flashbacks and all this stuff? And I was like, yeah, I get flashbacks. And like, do you have any traumatic memories? I was like, yeah, I've got loads of traumatic memories from childhood and things like that. And he was like, well, basically, we think you need some therapy, as it seems that whatever's happened with your son being born, all those memories are kind of being dragged to the surface and they haven't been like digested properly. So your brain needs to basically compute them, and then that will hopefully stop your heart. What's happening is I'm getting like a fight or flight feeling around certain people or certain situations, and my body's like reacting as if we're almost under attack, and we've got to like react really fast, and it's like forcing loads of blood like from my heart into like veins which aren't ready for it, and it's basically just forcing its way through, creating this really sharp feeling, like stabbing, and that's basically what was happening. So I started therapy probably about 4 months ago, and I've been doing that 4 or 3 months ago, and I'd say I'm about 70% better from where I was. The feelings of the anxiety attacks, it turned out they were anxiety attacks, almost gone. I'm so toxic because up until it happened to me, I didn't really believe in like mental health. And this is embarrassing to admit. It's really embarrassing to admit because I realized how fucking stupid I was. I didn't really believe in any sort of like mental health stuff, such as like anxiety attacks. I was always kind of like of the mindset of, if I feel sad, if I feel bad, if I feel down in the dumps, just go to the gym, lift some heavy ass weight, or go for a long walk, or go for a run, or do something extremely physical that will solve the problem. Now I'm fully under the realization that that was a really toxic mentality and didn't help me at all. And if I'm honest with myself, it probably led to where I am today. You know, having dealt with such physical and mental issues. You know, if you ignore your mental health for long enough, it will create physical issues for you. And from research I've done, if people don't solve the traumatic memories they've got, it can lead to a much lower lifespan, just mainly because of like the adrenal responses. If you constantly getting adrenaline like rushes in situations you shouldn't be getting them, you're stressing your heart out way more than you should. And that's not good for your long-term health. So I really had to sort this out. And I'd say I'm about 60 to 70% better. I've had to unfortunately distance myself from certain family members because I felt they were kind of creating a bit more of a negative impact on my life. And honestly, I just felt like I was constantly getting negative like stuff from them, and it was just too much to deal with. So I decided to just pick up and get on myself and try and just be a good dad, focus on leading a happy life that's fulfilling. Now, I want to talk about now I want to stop talking about the personal stuff, because honestly, if I dive too deep into that, this whole video would be like 30 minutes long. And if I'm honest, this is the second time I recorded this video, because the first time I went too deep on the personal shit. So this one, I want to talk more about the YouTube and work. I'm feeling like in a situation where I really want to start working and making content again. I missed you guys so fucking much. Honestly, I really miss making content so much. I really did. So I want to get back to doing that, but I don't really want to make content that I'm not proud of. And the real thing I've learned in therapy is I've got to do something that fulfills me. Because making money at the end of the day is great, and money does buy certain levels of happiness, but money can't buy fulfillment. I'm sorry, I just don't believe it can buy fulfillment. I believe that fulfillment comes from working hard at something you love. That is the only way, in my opinion, that you can get fulfilled. You can help people, but I consider that working. You know, I consider anything that you wouldn't usually do in your normal life to be working if you're having to do it, you know? And I am trying to find work that I get value from. And I'm not talking money as the value. I'm not talking the end result. I'm talking value from completing the work itself. So that is, you know, the act of recording a video that I really care about a subject that really matters to me, and the value I get from that. That will make me in the morning wake up and be like, right, let's sort my son out and then let's get to work. Let's get recording. That's the stuff that will wake me up and make me feel fulfilled and happy. And honestly, some of the old content I just started to make because it made money. That's literally it. And there's a really good quote from a brilliant author called Brandon Sanderson, and he says journey before destination. And that's kind of like the whole saying basically means that how you get to a point matters more than getting that. End result of completing a task doesn't matter nearly as much as how you completed the task and what you gained from the actual skills, the experience, everything like that. And it's so bloody true. It really is. I'm getting to a point in life where I'm realizing, like, money matters. Doing something you hate for just money is only going to make you feel sad and depressed. So that's what I don't want to do. You see it from YouTubers all the time, and streamers who end up like streaming for like 3 to 6 months, and then suddenly they disappear for like 2 months at a time. And it's because they're literally doing a job they absolutely hate. They're doing work for money, and they don't absolutely get fulfilled from their work. And I don't want to do that. I want to be here for a long term and dive into it and love what I do on a day-to-day basis. I want to make something that my son Levi can be super proud of. Now, if you're wondering why the name Levi, well, if you've seen Attack on Titan, the coolest character in that series is Levi Ackerman. And, well, let's be honest, my girlfriend and I were both just anime nerds. We love anime, just geeky as hell. And we thought Levi was a really good name. My partner's parents, so my partner is Vietnamese, born in the UK. But her parents were Vietnamese that came to the UK, and some of the names are quite hard for them to pronounce. And we wanted to basically have a more simple name that was easy for people to pronounce and never really get wrong. And we settled on Levi because it's a really cool name. So, and it also means leader, which is a really good name to give someone who you want to do well in life, set them up for success. So that's kind of what we did. So yeah, that's where I'm at in life. That's what's happening. Type of content you might see on this channel going forward will be basically videos I'm just really happy about making. You know, situations online that I think are ridiculous or want to talk about, or I feel I can add my 2 cents or make people aware of these situations. That stuff I will really care about. There's a lot of crap happening across the world and in the UK specifically right now that I just think is so interesting. I'd like to look at more. The gaming industry on a whole is so interesting right now. The whole social approach is completely changing. Like the whole over woke stuff is completely like going the other way, and we're kind of like having a bit of normality coming back and a bit of balance, and it's kind of nice. So there's so much interesting content to make out there. I'm really excited to produce. In terms of games, if you really love World of Warcraft content, make sure you subscribe to my Gaming Hero Guides YouTube channel. And anytime I got a World of Warcraft guide or a YouTube video to do with World of Warcraft, I'll be whacking it over on there. If you want to know more about a secret project, it's not really a secret anymore, a project that I'm working on, I basically started a new hobby during this kind of time of not working, and it's Warhammer, and specifically Warhammer Age of Sigmar. And this is like they're basically models. So if you look here, got this guy here. So they're like models, right? And I buy them, I paint them, and then I play them on a tabletop. And it's really good. I play them against loads of other people. I do it like 2 times a week, and I have an absolute blast doing it. Like, this is another one right here. This one's got kind of like a water base. It's so cool. It's like a really fun hobby to do. And what I want to do is launch a YouTube channel, which is specifically focused on basically what they're called battle reports, but basically recording actual games of us playing and everything like that. I think it's going to be really fun and really exciting, and potentially open up new hobbies for loads of different people. When Levi's a bit older, I want to be able to include him in the channel as well, so we can actually play tabletop games together in that way. So I think that's going to be really exciting, really fun. So yeah, if you want to get involved in that, I'm going to put a link in the description to that channel. It's called Battle Clash, and I actually bought a domain called battleclash.com, and that website will actually be kind of talking about Warhammer and things like that if you're interested. So yeah, that's where we're at with things, guys. We've got kind of 3 different projects. We've got Erosium, which is, my channel where I'll just be posting stuff about, the world and my take on things and everything like that. Sometimes we reviews of movies or books or just general games and stuff like that. It'd be really fun. It's good to be back. Oh my gosh, I missed you so much. And honestly, being so sad and depressed and having anxiety attacks and traumatic flashbacks constantly it was crap. But we're in a positive place now, and I would say to you, if you were anything like me and you're a guy who felt like mental health could be solved by going to the gym, working really hard, and running or like walking really far or doing like anything highly intense physically, you're wrong. All you're doing is you're putting the memories aside, and when you get into a more comfortable position in life, those memories will return, and they'll return with a vengeance. There's nothing wrong with therapy. I was very lucky with my therapy. I went through the NHS and I was able to get a really good therapist. Not everyone does, but yeah, it's definitely opened my eyes to problems, and I'm excited going forward. All right, guys, so that's where I am. And if you want to catch up with me, I'm in Discord. Remember, if you want to get some awesome t-shirts, then check out my QWERTY link below and use the code Erosium for £1, $1, or €1 off your order. Thanks so much for watching. This is Erosium